Right now at noon, the city of Carthage has another mess to clean up just weeks after a previous storm damaged the city square.
And our alert day continues. A new tornado watch for parts of Missouri and into southeast Kansas through 7 tonight. We'll have the latest on our severe threat coming up.
Plus, the Joplin School District issued a news release explaining the actions the district took Monday night to open safe rooms.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We're tracking severe weather in the area. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Let's go straight to Chris Warner.
Yeah, we're actually keeping a close eye right now on this cell in Cherokee County in particular. Cherokee County Emergency Manager is reporting what may be a possible rotating wall cloud. We don't have a warning with this cell, but we are monitoring it very closely. So we have this new tornado watch. It came down just a couple of minutes ago. Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in Kansas, the bulk of southwest Missouri, and this will run until 7 this evening. So let's take a closer look. We have this thunderstorm here in Barton County. Again, not strong or severe at this point, but keeping a close eye on it as well. But we are really watching this cell that's just over Columbus into central Cherokee County right now. We're also watching for additional development already taking place back into these storms were in Newata County. Now they're rolling into Craig County, and they're developing pretty quickly. As we mentioned this morning, the environment very favorable for severe weather today. A lot of instability being pulled in. We went from dew points this morning in the 40s, and we are now sitting upper 60s and 70-degree dew points, which means the atmosphere is very soupy. There's a lot of potent energy that's available for these storms to develop and take off rather quickly out there. Again, we'll continue to watch these storms as they roll through. Unfortunately, we discussed this morning, we didn't want to see any of this backed up to the west at all. In fact, we wanted to see it kind of go away. Not the case. The latest severe weather outlook has backed up the enhanced and elevated tornado threat a little further back into southeastern Kansas and for parts of southwest Missouri and into Arkansas and just a sliver of Delaware County. We now have hatch marks with those that tornado outlook, meaning that there is the possibility of significant tornadoes. That'd be EF2 or stronger with the storms as we head through the rest of this afternoon. We still have the elevated to enhanced hail and wind risks. And again, some of that backed up a little further to the west. Those hatch marks again indicating the possibility of 2-inch diameter hail or larger. And then hatch marks indicating the possibility of 70, 75 mile an hour winds or greater with any of these thunderstorms. So again, just keeping an eye on that Cherokee County storm at this point. Nothing new on it as of yet, but we'll keep you updated. Yesterday started at 63, made it to 81, well above where we should be. Take a look at these temperatures. Upper 70s, 80, low 80s back into northeastern Oklahoma. And as mentioned, we've got a lot of energy rolling in with these winds out of the south and west out there. Now again, the thunderstorm threat will wrap up by about 7 o'clock this evening, and then we'll be clear. We'll have clear skies, a little cooler tonight, falling back into the low 60s by midnight. We'll continue to monitor these storms, bring you any updates as they come in, and we'll have the latest on what we're expecting through the rest of the afternoon and the full forecast. That's coming up here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon, Chris. Authorities make an arrest in a gunfire incident in Parsons yesterday morning. The Parsons Police Department responded to that call in the 3100 block of Crawford Avenue. According to the report, the incident occurred after an altercation between a Parsons resident and a Pittsburgh man. The Pittsburgh man ran away following the gunshot. Parsons police say they found him in Pittsburgh with the help of Pittsburgh police. He was arrested by Parsons officers. Formal charges are pending. Well, Tuesday evening, a serious head-on crash occurred in Carthage on River Street. Deputy Sergeant Aaron McCamick tells KOAM a white passenger car crossed the center of the roadway and struck an oncoming SUV. Both the drivers were rushed to the area hospitals and one did not survive. Carthage police utilized drone technology for crash mapping reconstruction as part of their investigation. Next of kin have been notified and we anticipate an update from Carthage police later today. The city of Joplin held a storm response press conference yesterday to address the storm damage and cleanup efforts. According to Joplin city officials, crews were out at full force Monday night and are still assessing the damage. The fire chief says crews went to 81 locations to assess the damage Monday night. They say additional crews were called in. No injuries were reported. According to Liberty, 7,200 locations in Joplin lost power during the peak of the storm. The area also lost 50 power poles that will have to be replaced. Well, since the daybreak yesterday, Duquesne, Missouri residents have also been cleaning up the mess left by the storm. Power lines were scattered along yards and residents used chainsaws to cut up fallen trees and clear neighborhood roads. Some say cleanup is going to take weeks, but they're working together.
Yeah, this is the tree. I looked out my window as I saw it like lightning and stuff, and I heard the noise. I looked out real quick. I saw it and it kind of picked up and just fell down, and I saw like that, and it came down with the power line. But it's kind of scary, and that's when I ran and got my mom.
The mayor of Duquesne says the damage must reach a certain amount before the town can be eligible for disaster relief. So now citizens are left to their own devices to clean up the aftermath. Well, just weeks after Carthage saw damaging winds, residents are once again cleaning up storm damage. Monday night's storms brought down trees across the area, many of which fell onto roadways, cars, and even homes. The Carthage Water and Electric Plant says the storms also caused extensive damage to their system, and crews have been addressing down power lines across the area. The Carthage School District canceled classes yesterday due to the power outages and storm damage. The Joplin School District yesterday issued a news release explaining the actions the district took Monday night to open safe rooms. The district says safe rooms around the district opened automatically at 11:16 p.m. in response to a tornado warning in the county. However, the safe room for Joplin High School did not open at that time, apparently because of a malfunction. A safe room supervisor manually unlocked that door at 11:22 p.m. You can find the district's entire news release, including the current policy, on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Drivers headed down Connecticut Avenue in Joplin should look for another detour in the coming days. Crews yesterday closed Connecticut Avenue to traffic between 33rd and 36th Streets to install multiple stormwater crossings beneath the road. The road will be open at the end of each workday, and the closure will resume each morning. Work is expected to last through the end of the week. Today is National Ride Your Bike to School Day, and students, a part of the Cecil Floyd Bike Bus Group in Joplin, had the opportunity to commemorate the day while celebrating their accomplishments of reaching over 2,000 miles ridden to the school this academic year. Friends and family of the riders were encouraged to bring cowbells and signs to cheer them on.
My family lives in a pretty bikeable distance to the school, pretty safe neighborhood, and when my daughter started kindergarten, my son was in 3rd grade, and I thought, well, let's try and ride to school as much as we can, and if we're doing it, we might as well invite the rest of the neighborhood. So that's what we did.
All of the kids who participated today received medals for their accomplishments. Coming up, Stormy Daniels takes the stand in former President Donald Trump's New York criminal trial. And later, we're making the world's best Western omelet in the Mr. Food test kitchen. An explosive testimony in former President Trump's so-called hush money trial. Adult film star Stormy Daniels took the stand and gave details of her alleged sexual encounter with Trump nearly 2 decades ago. Trump denies the affair and has pleaded not guilty to the charges. CBS News' Jared Hill has more.
A very revealing day.
Former President Donald Trump due back in court tomorrow for day 2 of potentially explosive testimony from adult film star Stormy Daniels in his Manhattan criminal case. Under oath on the witness stand yesterday, Daniels recalled the details of their alleged 2006 sexual encounter, which Trump has denied. Daniels testified that Trump invited her to his hotel suite in Lake Tahoe. She said she asked Trump about his wife, Melania, and he said, quote, "Don't worry about it. We actually don't sleep in the same room." Daniels also said she wanted to share her story 10 years later, but was afraid, adding that she took the $130,000 payment from Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, to stay quiet.
Everything in this case is designed to get to Michael Cohen's testimony. He is really the only person that we know of who could give direct evidence about Donald Trump's involvement.
In cross-examination, Trump's lawyers questioned Daniels' motives, asking if she hates the former president, to which she responded yes. They asked if she wants Trump to go to jail. Her response, if he's found guilty, Absolutely.
This whole case is just a disaster.
Trump seemed visibly frustrated during Daniels' testimony, which drew multiple objections from his lawyers. The defense asked for mistrial, accusing prosecutors of trying to embarrass the former president. The judge denied the motion, but acknowledged, quote, "There were some things that are probably better left unsaid." Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We've got tips and tricks to make the world's best omelet coming up next. It's easier than you might think, and it's huge.
But first, we have an alert day today for that possibility of severe weather. Tornado watch in effect for some of us. We'll have the latest on your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So as we mentioned, we have an alert day today for that possibility of severe weather. We had one brief round this morning, and we only ended up with one severe thunderstorm warning, and that was up to our north. However, as you can see, we have more thunderstorms developing across the area. So here's a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker right now. We do not have any current warnings in place, but these storms continuing to intensify, stretching from just north of Lamar back through Cherokee County into Labette County, parts of Craig, and we're seeing redevelopment taking place in Newata County at this point. Some good news, nothing has come from this storm in Cherokee County. Regardless, keeping a close eye on all of this. We have that tornado watch in purple, so that's Bourbon, Crawford, and Cherokee counties in southeastern Kansas, and then the bulk of southwest Missouri, and it runs until 7 o'clock tonight. So we'll start here first with this storm near Lamar. We are starting to see some small hail with this cell as it continues to lift off to the east-northeast. Again, not severe at this point, but definitely want to keep an eye on it. And we want to keep an eye on any of these storms because, as you see, they're by themselves for the most part. The environment is set up as such that they are in a favorable area to become supercellular rather quickly. They could intensify fairly quickly, and we could get some severe weather out of this activity. Down here into Newata County, you can see this shower going up pretty quickly out there as well. Again, not severe yet, but nonetheless, we are seeing this one develop. It's redevelopment taking place after this guy and its neighbor up here to the north developed over Newata County, started rolling through Craig County. And then again, watching this storm. Now, the storm here over Cherokee County, one thing that's made it a little messier is a cell merger with another cell that developed back behind it. And they're kind of blending together here. So that's why at this point, we're not overly concerned about it right now, but again, we're in a volatile atmosphere where these things can change very quickly. So that's why we have that tornado watch that's in place. That's why we want to watch all of these storms, because if you watch the radar loop, you can see how quickly all of this activity flares up out there and how quickly it starts to intensify. So we're going to continue to monitor it as we go through the through the afternoon. And so let's take a look outside real quick. This is our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. We can see some of those thunderheads from that storm over Cherokee County. Dry for now south of Pittsburgh on the KDOT camera at 69. And here's the look at that severe threat again. We have that elevated to enhanced tornado threat now across a broader area. And these hatch marks indicating the possibility of EF2 or stronger tornadoes potentially into southwestern Missouri and parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas down here. Elevated to enhanced hail risk, elevated to enhanced wind risk. The hatch marks here indicating the possibility of very large hail, 2 inches in diameter or larger. And these hatch marks again indicating the possibility of winds 70, 75 miles an hour or greater. So we're looking at messy, just scattered storms out there. But again, these scattered storms, since they'll be by themselves, could become supercellular, could become severe. That's why we've got to keep a close eye on them. We could see some additional development or potential redevelopment as we head through the afternoon and into the early evening. Check back here now. This is some of the newer data showing the possibility of some redevelopment in northeast Oklahoma by about 4 o'clock or so this afternoon. And then that all eventually will start to leave our area, and we should be done with the severe weather by about 6, 7 o'clock, and hence why Tornado Watch only runs until 7 o'clock out there. So a lot to keep an eye on. The good news is once we get through this, it's going to be considerably clear. It's going to be considerably calmer as well. We're still looking at the mid-70s tomorrow. Not bad heading into the weekend. Maybe a stray shower or two on Sunday. And then we are watching more thunderstorm chances as we head into next week as well. But at least after today, we'll have an opportunity to get some cleanup done out there.
Yes,
and an opportunity to dry out and relax for a little bit, not
We
have
definitely
to be
need
on
it.
the edge again
Yeah.
for a little while.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making the world's best Western omelet in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, if you're craving a big, fluffy, cheesy omelet like the kind you can order at your favorite breakfast restaurant, today's Mr. Food recipe is just for you. Howard shows us how to make the world's best Western omelet in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
Years ago, I owned a restaurant called A Touch of Broadway. And on weekends, we'd be open for breakfast. We were packed. And the one thing that we became known for was our overstuffed, oversized omelets. So let me share with you what made them so good. We start by sauteing whatever veggies or meat we want to fill our omelet with. Today, Kelly asked for a Western omelet, so I'm cooking up some chopped peppers, onions, and diced ham that we season with a bit of garlic powder and a bit of salt. Once it's tender, we take it out of the pan, and in the same skillet, we add in 4 eggs that we beat with a couple of tablespoons of warm water. That's the secret to a fluffy omelet. And when it starts to firm up, we gently swirl the raw egg under the cooked part until it's set. At this point, we top it with some cheddar cheese and our cooked filling. Once the cheese melts, we slide it onto a platter, folding it in half as it comes out of the pan. There you have it, a big, fluffy, cheesy omelet like the ones my customers waited in line for. To get my step-by-step instructions on how to make the world's best Western omelet, just go to our website. It's the little tips that still make this so requested. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an eye-opening way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Hey, hey, hey.
Well, you can, of course, find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go on over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4 state market prices.
All right, we have that tornado watch. Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in southeast Kansas, the bulk of southwest Missouri through 7 tonight. Keeping an eye on these storms. They are in a very favorable environment to continue to intensify. Definitely supercellular in nature as they're all by themselves. And even check out that storm now down in Newata County. That little shower really flaring up. We will continue to monitor these as they develop across the area and potentially produce warnings. That's why we have that tornado watch. We're going to keep a very close eye on them across the area. Outside of that, if you're back behind this line, you're relatively okay for storms. We're going to start to calm down. Last of the storms about 7 tonight, and then we've got a break heading into the weekend. All
right, thanks, Chris. Dow, what do you have for this evening?
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, a record number of Americans are set to turn 65 this year in what demographers call a silver tsunami. And now baby boomers who are eligible for retirement are facing a major life change that can have repercussions for their mental and physical health. Plus, the SEK Humane Society is helping PSU students manage their stress during finals week with some furry friends. And the Joplin School District sheds more light on actions the district took Monday night to open storm shelters. Hope you join us at 5.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day.